Sun Classic reached the lead, 250 metres to go from Yum Zane, the pride of Hong Kong. Viva Bataka, Dr. Nino on the outside. Sun Classic's in front, still more than a length. Viva Bataka's trying, the poster's looming up. It's Sun Classic, it's another one for South Africa.
Is trying to get into second. Then Neolithic. Back fourth is Noble Bird, followed by Keen Ice. But what a race! What a sport! What a horse! Arrogate romps in the Pegasus. He won it by 3.5.
Pat Cummings is a name that is very well known to South African racehorse fans, and he's a former director of a company called Trackers that measures minuscule detail as far as the distance travelled of a racehorse in a race is concerned. Very similarly, SAP, our proud sponsors, are able to tell you exactly how much a horse should have moved this way or that way to get the best possible line, and therefore competitors and of course spectators alike are able to track exactly what's happening in the race. Now, Pat Cummings has moved on to the Hong Kong Jockey Club, and he's in a position to tell us about the contingent from Hong Kong, as well as the fact that he's very close to the Mike de Kock stable and has news as far as Mubtahij and Fourie are concerned. So here is Pat Cummings, whose Cantonese has improved significantly since we last spoke to him this time last year.
Racing's fantastic. It's been a really good year for us so far, and we'll run 8 more meetings, or rather 5 more meetings this year, so it's the busiest year in the history of Hong Kong racing. We'll run through to July 16th, and just hope to have some more South African action at some point if certain things open up down the way.
Well, I mean, let's get straight to it. It looks very much like Mubtahij will make an appearance in the Queen Elizabeth II Cup in April.
Yeah, entries come out today, and Mubtahij is on them, which I think is fantastic. Mike, of course, a 2-time winner of the QE2 Cup. And not to mention the Champions Mile success with Variety Club, which was the first overseas horse to ever win the Champions Mile. So he's been a great supporter of the meeting over the years, and had Erdajal there last year, but he fluffed the start, and it was pretty much over from there. But and the course really came up wet, which it can do in Hong Kong. It certainly rained the day of a Variety Club as well. It'd be great to have Mubtahij there. Second in the World Cup. He's actually still winless since the UAE Derby, but has just run some absolute blinders in between. And I hope we see him run well here on World Cup night.
While we've got you on Mubtahij, if you take a look at last year's race, there's no doubt in my mind that Christoph gave him the most incredible ride. I mean, it was just a sublime ride, and conversely, the horse that was just about a neck behind him or a head behind him had to travel wide in the kickback, and opportunity seems to have stepped up this year as well.
Yeah, it was a fantastic ride, without question. Saved all the ground, inched up at the right time, got in the mix. No one was going to beat back California Chrome. There's just absolutely no question about that. But maybe it's the same case this year with Arrowgate. Never know. But Opportunity was running on very well after a really wide trip. But I think maybe to a degree that was potentially a peak for him. That both horses ran tremendous races in this race last year. I don't think Opportunity's gotten back to that point. But Mubtij at least went on with Kieran McLaughlin in the States, ran incredibly close at Saratoga in the Group 1 there in August. And now, look, as Micah said, second up, I think if Arrowgate weren't to run a winning race, which would be a massive surprise, Mubtij is one of those 4 or 5 that could pick up the pieces.
Keenis has moved stables, and we know that he's the only horse to have beaten American Pharaoh, so he's got the latent potential.
And he picked up an injury out of this race last year, so he might not have been 100% as it was. My only issue with him, as quality as he was, is that he was really very well set up to win the Travers with a ridiculous pace up front. And then coming here, horses that are coming from well off the pace just continue to have difficulty. So I think there will be some question as to whether or not he can get a good toe into the race, but they're going to give it a shot, and I think it's great for Connections to come out and give it a chance.
Okay, 2 final questions. Firstly, Forey, you're very close to the stable. He's come through his hiccup with flying colours as a result of some good therapy work with Milan. And he is a super-looking horse. His work was outstanding yesterday.
It was fantastic to see the work. He looked, nothing seemed to be amiss with him. And that, I know Mike has said they've got him in the spa, things that they haven't been able to do with him before. So clearly the 3 weeks have done him a world of good. The work with Milan. This is a very competitive UAE Derby from top to bottom. Fawry's mile win, his maiden win, was faster than the UAE 2000 Guineas. He's drawn 6, Thunder Snow's drawn out in 13. They both beat B Jersey in that race, who's come back here and is a maiden in here. I give him a massive shout in the Derby.
Okay, let's talk very quickly about Hong Kong. Give us your 1, 2, 3 as far as the Hong Kong competitors are concerned.
Absolutely love Amazing Kids in the Alcaz Sprint. He's co-top-rated turf sprinter in the world on 119 at the moment. The other co-rated is Urtajal. Urtajal is going to be probably 5-2 in this race. Amazing Kids in most places probably in that 10-1 range. To me, there's no question he's a horse that goes better down the straight, better over, maybe not better over 6 furlongs, but 6 will hit him fine. He needs a little toe into the race. He's going to get it. Amazing Kids absolutely love his chances in the Alcaz.
Adventurers now placed under a little bit of pressure. Penophobia's a length away. Bad Boy. Amazing Kids are starting to close in and not listening to me. It's Amber Sky a half to Adventurer. Amazing Kids quickly sweeping to them. Bad Boy can't go with this class act. Amazing Kids who race to the lead now from Amber Sky. Then Penophobia are not listening to me, but it's Amazing Kids. He's given away a start and he's way too good in the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. Amazing Kids for not listening to me.
Look, John has won the Golden Shaheen in the past with a horse who had never been away from grass. Not Listening to Me has trialed well on the dirt, but he's going to have to move his game over from turf to dirt in the Golden Shaheen. And then Dundonald has been consistent through the carnival with a second and then a third on Super Saturday. But Casper Founds is very, very straightforward, says probably a place chance at best.